Hello, everybody. Welcome to another daily dose of gaming news and all that good stuff. And as always, I'll also publish on Rumble and on Pigeon for access support. Any kind of updates and such, I usually go about on Twitter X. Yesterday, I did manage to upload and publish the proper episode of Planet Alana. We got a little mess here, a typo in the previous episode, which is already corrected. And yeah, basically, that's it. All the content is there on the main page of the channel in playlists. So let's go for some news. Got a little bit of an update of the supposedly reference RDNA 4, so the RX 9070 XT reference card that was sold on the black market, and we got a little bit more photos of the PCB and all that jazz, and it seems to be very much in line as the Sapphire GPU, which it's very interesting. Again, I think they didn't go ahead and again, just to reiterate, this could be some kind of engineering samples that went around for AIBs. Probably Sapphire took advantage of the design itself of the reference card and then tweak it to make it also their own. I don't know. Could be a lot of stuff there, but I think also one of the reasons that AMD didn't went through with the production of their own reference cards, I think it has to do with the price mainly. I think they didn't want to take the chance there and basically sell these GPUs at cost of production or something like that. I don't know, but it's something that that I think it's been considered at the time. But yeah, interestingly, given that usually Sapphire is the one of the best AIBs or the best AIB overall in terms of AMD GPUs, I think the second best is usually It's between Power Color and XFX in terms of AIBs on the GPUs in terms of how they overclock and cool those GPUs. And yeah, it's nice to see, but again, I don't think we're going to see any reference card unless by the rumor mill that we've been hearing that I don't know they might have in the back burner something with a extreme overclock or 90 80 XT, something like that. It's been mentioned here and there. I don't believe that much, given that I don't think there is a need for AMD to do something like that, to put themselves in a position trying to compete with 5080, unless they really have some trick up their sleeve regarding if they can, I don't know, overclock the Navi 48, because these are not the chips of the GPUs are not as RDNA free, which is the tile stuff, which is not the CCD stuff. This is like a single die. So the only way to go around and make something better with the chips available is to just brute force it in terms of overclocking and power delivery and all that jazz. I don't see any other way unless they do some kind of magic shenanigans and manage to encounter a solution. I don't know, sticking to Navi 48s and as a kind of SLI kind of solution in one board. Again, I don't see any other way unless something like this happen. I don't even think with different memory chips will solve the issue of being them solving the issue of being more faster in terms of gaming. It's a matter of the limitations of the chip themselves. But yeah, other than that, this it's a very interesting thing to see. This supposedly again, I assume it's a engineering sample basically, but the fact that it is very similar in terms of the PCB is very similar to Sapphire. It's very interesting, and again, this GPU suppose is recognized in driver stuff there and even in GPU Z, so it seems to be a real thing here. So it's not something that was fabricated out of nowhere. It seems so, but it's very interesting to see these kind of things here. On the NVIDIA side here, we got MSC ends what they call the RTX 5080 Vanguard Lucky Dragon Edition or promotion or whatever this is 2 months in advance. Um, again, supposedly, I don't understand very well here on the article. Is not very well described. What is this thing? Again, I assume is these little dragons. The issue of understanding is how you're going to collect this. I think you need to buy GPUs to collect one of each dragon, but supposedly if you collect the collection, so 9 different dragons, you can trade it in for a 5080. At least that's the perception that I got. But again, it comes in mind. Again, you have to buy 9 GPUs. Again, you don't have to buy. You can, I don't know, trade it in those dragons. Again, if you manage to trade them very cheaply, I think it compensates that small investment and trading in for a 5080, especially at the price that they are at. But yeah, no, sorry, it's 11 available Lucky Dragon figurines, not 9. But Oh no, sorry. They are. Oh my god, I completely messed this up. Each card is a specific version. Came one of the 11 available. Users who manage to collect 9 out of them will be eligible. Okay, so they are 11, but if you can collect 9 different ones, you can manage to trade in. That's the thing there. But yeah, they supposedly this promotion was available till the end of May, but they cut short by to the end of this month. Because again, when you have these high expensive GPUs, and again, supposedly this is like a limited edition, so there was a very limited number of these dragons, and supposedly how many people could collect these things, depending on the market or depending on the region itself. Again, they underestimated the what people can do to get something for free, especially 5080, which is hovering around $2,000, if not mistaken. Yeah, supposedly a lot of people, or too many people, did manage to trade in the figurines, mainly because probably most likely people from other regions sold to a person that was eager to collect these little dragons here. And again, too much expensive, too much loss from MSI. Again, it's interesting to see that again this thing here is again people underestimate, or companies underestimate, the willingness that people want to go to get something for free. But yeah, they have to cut short this promotion because too many people exchange. Again, I will assume it's like the Panini sticker stuff there. Again, when you just launch a certain amount of things that people can exchange in a determined region, and again, if everybody can manage to pull out resources to put all the figurines basically in the same region, you get an overwhelming or too much of what they estimate that people can trade in for that. But yeah, it's one of those things. Greed and trying to sell more GPUs to get a couple of them for free backfire. Basically, that's the sense that I got here. But yeah, it's one of those things. And then continue with the NVidia. Interesting enough that there was on the German market RTX 5090 with missing ROPs supposedly being offered as B stock by German retailer, and still costing the same as a non-missing ROPS 5090, which is incredible. As you can see here on the page, on the product description of that page, and it puts a note here, only 168 ROPS, which is the 8 missing ROPS situation that we saw. And you can see here the price is basically the same as a normal 5090. And again, this is 2,900 euros. Again, this price already has tax, which is by law on any European country. All prices have to have tax included. Again, again, I think it was around $3,100 or something like that with tax. Again, I'm not going to do the math here of removing the tax and give a number there. But yeah, this is one of those things. If you don't have stock, people will try to get around. And again, this is the part of the same kind of category of open boxes, or, for example, some products that have slight damage, but they are still functioning properly. Let's say this is kind of the same category here. This is not the only one that's been cited. Some of them pull out the page afterwards. But yeah, it did, man. Again, this is the situation when you don't have enough inventory and you have all the problems of the Blackwell. So the RTX 5000 series launch. Again, we are covering here the missing ROPs. We got the black screen stuff there, 5090 connectors burning through the roof. Um, the fact that trying to cater and resolving the situation with the RTX 5000 series, the RTX 40 series are completely screwed up there, because now they are all getting their own black screen issues because, again, driver situation. And again, this part of the software has to do also by the fact that NVIDIA is, I think it's still finalizing the process of putting those two apps that they had, so the NVIDIA driver plus the NVIDIA setting stuff there, and putting on just one NVIDIA app. Again, the fact of lack of inventory, the high prices, again, the Blackwell has been a shit show for NVIDIA, and the even on, I think, GDC or something like that, they claim that they sold more GPUs than the previous generation. Again, it's a lot of lies, a lot of defective products in several ways. Again, it's not being good. AMD is not way better, but at least they are not selling a $3,000 GPUs uh, at double or sometimes triple the price there. But yeah, regarding hardware, this is what I got from the industry. It's seemingly, again, this is coming from a report from MIT Technology Review, and the report does only quote a local data center project manager. Again, this is relatively the AI bubble data center stuff. Again, my overall thoughts is it's a bubble. They are on the promise of the AI revolution. They are selling the products. In this case, Nvidia selling the chips for the server stuff at a completely inflated price, um, and making promises with that hardware they're going to make a lot of money, which is not happening to a certain extent. I don't think this is happening, but again, because there was a lot of investment in this, people usually will not admit that it was a bust, the investment that they made, because again, the fact that when you sell hardware at inflated prices, and you promise return on investment that basically it's impossible to get. We saw again companies investing 20,000 Blackwell chip. Sorry, not Blackwell. The data center upgrades or whatever they are called. 20,000 of them, and I think each one of them costs, I think, $50,000 each one. So people are investing millions and millions and millions out of nowhere, and hopefully getting a short-term return on investment on that by creating a bubble, which is trying to make it hype and create some FOMO on people not getting into this AI stuff. Again, this is overall market stuff, and I think in China, because they are being levied the tariffs and some sections here and there, sanctions, like the 4090, they have to manufacture 4090D. The same thing is happening with the 50 something, the 5090s. And again, some data center AI chips there, they're being stifled. So to try and get the same hardware, it will cost more because you have to go to alternative routes, and when you go through the alternative routes or black market, you get more intermediaries. So the hardware itself or the product itself will cost even more than it's supposed to be. But yeah, it seems that again, this comes from. For sure, there is some biases here to try and put as China was made this as a huge flop. But again, we saw that usually with this, the government usually tends to invest hugely. And it seems that the data center construction boom has now faded, resulting in industry witnessing a massive slowdown in the economics around AI. Again, the economics here has to do with a lot of investment spent on hardware and manufacturing this data center stuff there. Um, Probably there was a slowdown because they are maybe reaching a saturation point to a certain extent. And then, of course, we got the report here that says that a local data center project manager claims that AI GPU traders who once flaunted off their they acquired NVIDIA cutting edge accelerators are now selling off their inventory at down to earth prices since the demand from domestic market is far too low. Again, I think people took in I think the smaller ones that cannot maintain the investment that they made in a medium term, they thought they could do some quick money, so they invested what they had, and thought that you can make a return on investment very quickly, and didn't happen. And now they really need to maintain liquidity by selling what they have there. And again, some of them probably don't see AI ventures as profitable. Again, trying to make it a product, unless you have a product that can generate money, just not buying hardware, then renting that hardware to software companies. I don't think that's the best solution, especially in the long term. If you don't already have a software solution that can compete on the market, and then you can buy the hardware to leverage your software, I don't think at long term it will be pretty good. And then it is also claimed, again, we need to have a little bit careful with the language that it's used, because it might try to give an image of that it's not real. But again, supposedly that more 80% of China AI's computing resources are idle, and companies are based around data center hype are finding it difficult to stay afloat. Again, and I think DeepSeek, the release of DeepSeek did manage to I don't know, stifle a little bit the booming of this AI bubble, because what DeepSeek does basically can maintain kind of, from what I understand, in terms of the tasks that it can do it basically basically at the same level of of Chat GPT, from what I understand, kind of the maintaining kind of a very similar quality of the tasks, but again, with less power demand and less computing demand power. You don't need that much AI chips to do the same kind of workload, and the quality is almost at the same level of the Chat GPT stuff there. So there is no need to have a lot of investment to deliver the same results. So basically, when you see something like that on the software side, it can bring down a little bit on the market, and people enter the panic and just want to sell because they don't need that much computing power to do the same tasks at a similar level of quality of those tasks. And again, it's kind of a compounding effect. But yeah, the AI economics of the domestic market shift rapidly, and the perception. Again, this is a lot to do with perception has been created that the technology doesn't need high financial resources, which it doesn't to a certain extent, and the fact that you can see the fact that people can buy almost a normal GPU or a consumer graphics gaming GPU, and have their learning language models installed on a PC, and do their own AI workloads without the need of investing huge amounts of money to do their AI tasks, which is very interesting. Again, it's something that it can be useful. Um, you remove the need of of using big companies that invested a lot of millions, and some of them billions of dollars, to do the same thing that basically you can do at home for free, because the framework for some large language models are open source, so you can download the versions, tweak it by yourself for your specifications, and you can do the same thing without spending a lot of money, as a lot of people did. Um, and again, they say that the reason why China saw a massive AI boom, apart from the global hype, is that the local economy leaders saw AI infrastructures X the next place of financial stimulus. Again, not only in China. Again, I think they're trying to divert the attention that a lot of U.S. companies and global companies, they also committed the did the same mistake that China did in this sense, but I think the consequences for that are going to be even bigger when this supposedly financial stimulus project that they had with AI falls down. Um, Mainly because I think the government in China can take a hit there because a lot of it was a lot of the financial investment was made by China government. At least that's the perception that I have. So the hit they can take, they can take a bigger hit than private companies there. And so ultimately, major investment jump onto the bandwagon, hoping to capitalize. Again, this is about the short-term profits by boosting stock price. Again, it's the same thing. People tend to forget. Like, for example, China will not, at least as the perception I have with China, they will not leave this AI stuff there, at least if it depends solely on them, to let it go in the sense they will not leverage what they already have in terms of infrastructure. I don't think they're going to let it go and just waste it. I think they will manage to do something with that. If it is good or bad, I don't know. While, for example, private companies, they only have profits in mind. So if they see that this kind of the AI bubble is going to burst, they just will let go all the hardware, software, and they go on to the next bubble to try and capitalize again short-term profits, which is usually what they are always seeking and chasing. And again, and the fact that when you see some of them, like the big investors, investing some money in a certain thing, they always try to create a FOMO on regarding whatever the hype is, and then it creates the bubble itself because it's something that it's not real in a sense there. But yeah, as in the article, at least they did mention that this case isn't just for China alone, since global tech leaders, notably Microsoft, are also pulling out data center leases as a strategic move to adjust infrastructure. While this certainly doesn't indicate that the AI bubble has popped, it does show that investment sentiment doesn't favor the long ball game with AI. Again, I don't see any problem with long ball game strategy here. It just need to be planned accordingly. Without the, that's why we call it the AI bubble, because again, people inflate it too much. They started creating the FOMO regarding not, if you're not getting into AI, you're going to left behind and all that jazz. Again, I think it can be managed on the long-term strategy. Again, you just need to plan accordingly. I think they really need to. We need to start seeing more. For example, in my case, when I notice, for example, having better server capacity more than anything else, and for example, on the video platforms like Rumbles, should being I think these kind of companies, they need to really invest more on better codecs for the compression stuff there, provide better services. I think gives more value to the customers than trying to create AI images or create some prompts here and there, because those kind of things already can be done or achieved in a private setting, like somebody has a computer, basically can leverage some LLM software there. But yeah, interesting to see that probably are trying to divert a little bit of attention and focus on that China is a loser here or starting to lose. But I think this is more a global thing more than anything else. But because China usually invests on this, the people can focus a little bit more and try to divert attention from the other companies that I think by the end of the year or next year, you're going to see some companies completely disinvest from this AI stuff there. And we're going to see a huge devaluation from NVidia. Even though they recouped a little bit after that DeepSeek stuff there, I don't think that NVIDIA is going to, as it is, last much longer. They're going to take a huge hit on the AI market, because you can only hype people so much, and trying to input some FOMO or fear of missing out stuff to a certain degree. But yeah, in terms of games, not much happening. We got Mindseye launches June 10th now. We got a trailer here again. From the last couple of videos that I saw from this game, I'm not expecting much. This doesn't seem to be a pretty good game. They come about, and because it's launching June 10th, they're already starting the hyping up stuff with sorry, the deluxe editions and the pre-order bonuses and all that jazz. But yeah, this game, even the setup doesn't seem to me anything out of the ordinary. Seems a little bit convoluted. The setup of the story there. Um, I don't know. The fact that the Mindside director, we can't wait for players to immerse themselves in a tightly crafted game. The tightly crafted game, I don't know about that. Mindseye with a thought-provoking story where technology and ambition collide and the inevitable consequences unravel. Again, they don't say a lot. And the fact that they are trying to emphasize that it's a tightly crafted game, and the fact that the videos we already saw here doesn't look pretty good in terms, especially on the gameplay mechanics. There, it's another third-person shooter with a sci-fi thing here. I don't know. I'm not very hopeful for this game. And then you got here Blades of Fire. Again, this one seems interesting the way they're going about it. They showcased 5 minutes of raw gameplay footage. Again, age restricted, so check it on YouTube. My only issue with this game, it's on PC, it's only available on Epic Game Store, so that's that. But supposedly it will come out May 22 also. So again, my only concern is the fact that it's exclusive to Epic Game Store. I checked, there is nothing on Steam. And then just on the latest games that were released last week, we got Kazan, the first Berserker Kazan. Again, excellent reviews. The game seemed pretty good. Um, uh, Again, the feedback is great. Again, it launched Thursday. We'll see how it goes in terms of players here. Again, this is the kind of a indie double A kind of a games, so I'm not expecting huge amounts of bunk busting sales or something like that. But yeah, it seems to be an excellent game. I covered the review on this, and then I got also on the side of the double A kind of thing, atomfall, which people are calling the British Fallout. I think it seems like a mix between some takes of Fallout gameplay and art direction, and a mix between also the Stalker series. Some of the gameplay mechanics seems to be very influenced by Stalker. Again, not doing excellent numbers, but again, it was launched also. The early access was around 24th, and then the real release was also on Thursday. Again, a lot of stuff was launched this week. Yeah, with some of them compete with each other in certain ways, but then we will have today is Saturday, so we'll see how this will go for them. But yeah, let's go for some gaming deals. We still have Hogwarts Legacy in for sale, 75% off. Oh my god, didn't open here. Okay, Atomic Heart is 67% of all editions here. I think the premium edition, the DLC that they launched seems pretty interesting and pretty good. The overall census is around between very positive and mostly positive, so around 80%. I think it decreased a little bit better, decreased a little bit, mainly because of the DLC launches. Usually, it tends to get a hit here and there. We got also No Man's Sky. Again, excellent game, very positive feedback. You all know what it does here. You got the new update Relics, which kind of archaeological kind of gameplay systems. Again, we got also AI Limit. Again, kind of a Souls-like game with anime art style, like cel-shaded stuff there. It reminds me, in terms of art direction, Code Vein that launched a few years ago. This comes from China Project Hero, which is some PlayStation funded projects. But yeah, this is a single player, so no shenanigans regarding any kind of connections here. And even the publisher is CE Asia, so there is no PlayStation involvement except for the funding, if not mistaken. But yeah, seems an interesting one. It's got very positive feedback, so that's why I'm bringing this one up. I didn't see still any kind of reviews dedicated to this game, which is odd. Usually, these kind of games usually tend to have some reviews around. On GOG, we got the Batman Arkham trilogy. So all of them are Game of the Year editions. Again, Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, and then Arkham Knight. This is standard edition, but you can buy the premium edition, which has the DLC there. 80% in all of them, as you can see, including the premium edition here. We got Deus Ex Human Revolution Director's Cut, 85% off. Again, I recommend this game if you like RPGs. And the same thing can be said for Deus Ex Mankind Divided, and I usually recommend Digital Deluxe Edition. The content that is available, including Season Pass and extra missions there, I think, again, for the price, I think it's well worth it. We got Dredge here, 50% off. This is the standard edition. Got other editions here. Then we got 50% off also on Chegan Alliance free. Again, this game was directed for the same guys that did the main Chegan Alliance series, the 1 and 2. So it's in line with that game. Again, turn-based combat, isometric view, squad management, and all that jazz. So you have to manage the mercenary squads there. The usual stuff here. It seems pretty good. Then we got also 80% off on Prey. I don't usually recommend the digital deluxe edition, but if you want to just check out the main game, the standard edition is more than enough. And I really do recommend this game. Very underrated game. I really did enjoy the game itself, and I did manage to do a gameplay series. So if you're curious about it, you can check the first episode to have an idea what this game is about, to see if it's worth for you to buy when it's on a deal. And last we got Wall World. Again, this is one of these little games that it's very cheap. Yeah, I usually recommend also on full price. It's not that expensive, and I usually recommend buying also Deep Threat with it, because it expands a little bit the story and fine tunes and expands also in some gameplay mechanics from the main game. Again, if you like mining games with some boss battles in some kind of defense tower mechanics there, I think this is, and again, with the roguelike aspect and mechanics associated, I really do recommend this game, even at full price. But yeah, that is it, what I got for you today. I will just wrap up here with a plug of my Patreon as usual. The extra support from here, it's more in line to try and see if I can get a better storage solution so I can buy, so I can get backups of stuff that I do for my clients, and of course extra space for the videos that I do for the channel. And with all that said, I hope you have a wonderful day. I will see you in the next one. So until then, Kunamy Master out.